The Canadian government announced today that it will be making $3 million available to Canadian municipalities to help them attract foreign investment. The program is being welcomed by the organization representing Canada's towns and cities. In a few minutes, I'll be speaking with Trade Minister Ed Fast about some of the bigger initiatives, Canada's bigger trade initiatives. But first, I was joined earlier by Karen Leibovici, an Edmonton City Councillor and the President of the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. Karen Leibovici, thank you very much for coming in. I have to ask you about this program announced by the federal government. A lot of people don't associate federal funding for municipalities and cities doing actual lobbying and work abroad, fostering foreign investment. So where would this money go to? What kind of activities would this money be put to for cities and municipalities?
Well, what the money is meant to do is to help cities, municipalities across this country to look at projects, to engage in research in terms of reaching out for international investment and trade opportunities. So it's quite helpful for those municipalities that are looking outside of their immediate borders to attract investment into their municipalities.
How would you describe the municipal role? Are municipalities across Canada very active these days?
Yes, they are. And from our research, we know that at least 250 delegations a year come to Canada, to various municipalities across the country. And we are also involved through CEDA with regards to a program we have in Ukraine on economic development. And furthermore, there are many delegations that municipalities undertake to go overseas to countries around the world to promote their assets within their own municipalities.
One of the questions, trade goes two ways. You're talking a lot about promoting trade, municipalities going abroad, but also encouraging investment in municipalities. One of the issues that came up at the press conference was the negotiations going on now between the federal government and the European Union. So it's the Canadian-European Union trade agreement. There's been a lot of talk from some municipalities about concerns about services and procurement. If we allow big European multinationals to bid on providing services or procuring services at the municipal level, some of your members have been concerned about that. How comfortable are you with the negotiations, with the way they're being conducted, and do you have the guarantees that you might need?
We're very comfortable in that Minister Fast has heard our message and in fact has incorporated seven principles that FCM has endorsed on behalf of our membership with regards to principles on a go-forward basis in the negotiations under CEDA. And one of those principles is around procurement and ensuring that those procurement levels are reasonable, looking at the administrative issues that might crop up with under international agreements to make sure that they're not onerous to municipalities, and there are other principles as well. What's very encouraging for us is that Minister Fast's office and himself and the chief negotiator have been available to us when we have questions that we ask on behalf of our membership, and they've been very open with the answers to us that we can then relate to the membership as well.
Do you have, I mean, you say you're getting assurances, but one of the problems for journalists, for example, is that we're not open to those assurances and those discussions that we've been told go on with municipalities, with provinces, with the federal government. And some municipalities have gone as far as saying they wanted an opt-out. They want to be able to opt out. They're concerned that they could be forced to lay off municipal employees, forced to allow foreign entities to provide their services. You're saying you're comfortable enough with that, and all of your members as well? Because as I say, some municipalities have gone as far as saying, no, we want to opt out.
Yeah, and that's true that some municipalities have passed motions, but again, what we're seeing is a very cooperative working relationship with the minister, and in fact, the announcement today was an example of that very cooperative working relationship. He understands the municipal sector and what our needs are, and respects that as well. So always devil is in the details, but at this point in time, we're very comfortable with his endorsement of our seven principles.
Last question. You're in Edmonton. Obviously, a lot out west is looking west, or I guess east, looking to China, to Asia. The trade growth is incredible. Last week, the federal government announced something called FIPA, the Foreign Investment Promotion and Protection Agreement. We don't have all the details, but we do know that it's only going to protect Canadian and Chinese investments, rule of law, for existing investments, not for new investments. Do any of your member municipalities have experience or concerns about going forward? Because we don't have an agreement on investments going forward with China yet.
At this point in time, I haven't heard of any concerns that our member municipalities have had. Sounds like this is something new that the minister has announced. I know that in the past, many of our municipalities, including Edmonton, have looked to China for either increased cooperation with regards to investment and trade. So at this point in time, I have to say that I haven't heard of any issues arising out of that announcement.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Thanks for sharing your time.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.